Hi, I'm Arthur, and yeah, you're watching the Bueno Power Vlog. On Memorial Day, I decided to make some pancit and some lumpia, and my recipes are mainly vegan. Since a lot of the Filipino food is based on meat and such, and like beef broth and all that. So usually it deals with tofu, garlics, vegan beef. Um, just kind of those sort of ingredients. Pretty simple. Nothing really too you know extravagant. So just rolling up the lumpias, getting those ready, making the veggies for the pancit. So I used carrots and bok choy, garlic, and I don't even remember the other vegetable that I used for it. But I got the recipe from a friend of ours from No Worries. It's actually this Filipino vegan restaurant turned food truck over in the Bay Area, and there's actually a YouTube channel that I'll link to that helps you to learn how to cook vegan pancit. I kind of put my own interpretations to it. You see here, right? There's the rice noodles, and you actually have to put it in just hot water, not boiling, so that it actually doesn't turn into mush. Um, and this part of the pancit process, when you saute all the veggies and such, and meat, the vegan meat rather, you cook that first on a hot wok, and kind of pan fry that a little bit. Let that sizzle, and you go ahead and you grab the noodles. You just put it on there right on the top. And I kind of made the mistake of actually not cutting the noodle, so I kind of messed up there. Put a little bit of soy sauce on there, and then after that, you just start mixing them up. So I would have uh, these two little fork and a big spoon, and just mix up the contents together, and let that soy sauce kind of just marinate with the noodles and the veggies. I also put the little lumpia boats onto the hot oil, and that's pretty much it. We had a friend over, and we just had a grand old time just eating and talking about nothing. It's pretty much for Memorial Day. Hey, what's going on? It is Arthur for the Bueno Power Vlog, and welcome back to my office. It's been a while since been here to talk about anything and just kind of catching up on stuff. But you know, had a couple of few weeks of just chill moments, chill weekends. But last weekend was it's pretty popping. I mean, I got a chance to photograph and you know do whatever. This weekend though, however, I have really nothing going on, and that's why we're here. I kind of just wanted to talk about some of my purchases that I've made, and showcasing it and such. Next week I should be having some more material for you to kind of check out, and yeah, but here we go. So a couple of weeks ago I had bought a J Mascis Squire, and so far it's doing me some good. And just for the fact that, you know, having a Fender-like guitar is kind of out of the ordinary for me, but I needed something like that for just different sounds and such. And I'm having a little bit of, well, I'm having a lot of fun playing with it just because it's different. And I feel, again, from my video of the guitar, I do have a pretty awesome relationship with it. And it plays a little bit like my Gibson. I'm still kind of tweaking it a little bit and seeing what kind of adjustments I can make. But for the most part, it's a killer guitar, and I think that I am really happy that I made that purchase. So, a couple of things in that really. One of them is the strings. I decided to go on size 11s. I believe this is actually a little bit thicker than my usual Gibson Les Paul strings that I get, Elixirs Nano Webs. These are the Ernie Ball Power Slinkies. Sorry. And I know that many of you musicians have played with this set of strings and are really familiar with Ernie Ball. They're cheap and they sound good for the guitar, for sure. This specific pack actually it gives me there's a little bit of tension onto the strings. I mean, I can still pull on some of the strings and such, but it allows me to sort of fly a little bit faster on the neck, and I have a little bit more control on the tremolo picking. Oh, the sun's coming out. And excuse me. Not only that, I have purchased well, let me show you the other picks. Actually, I purchased a specific pick that I think now I'm gonna kind of just go a go-to thing for me. I think I'm gonna be using this specific pick, but these are some of the ones I was using for a while. This is the Tortex Dunlop Jazz 3. It's not really happy with this type, just because it's really slippery. There's not a lot of grip, and I seem to lose the pick quite easily. The Jazz 3, the Max Grip, this one is pretty good, but the only problem is that the sharpness right here, I tend to, the strings kind of, well, the pick gets caught on the strings in a kind of an awkward way, and I don't really run through the scales as quickly as I would like to. But the one that I bought, and I just realized, just out of the whim when I was taking my guitar to get it fixed up and repaired from last weekend, is this Jazz 3 205. I don't know if it's just a Jazz 3 205 or just a Jazz 205. This specific pick, I don't know if you can see it, but this specific pick, it's thick. There's actually a good amount of grip that goes to it, and if you notice right here, the sharp point of the pick is a little bit more rounded, so kind of run through the scales is a lot easier for me. Not only that, I got this little guy. This is a Bandoria, and a lot of Spaniards play this with this specific guitar. I'll give sort of an example, and I actually like using these picks for it, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done on this thing, and actually, I don't actually like this pick with it, but I don't know how to play with this thing. It's dirty. It's in some bad shape, but this is certainly one of those instruments that I am pretty happy I got. What I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to learn this instrument. There's actually a lot of Filipino songs that I want to learn, and maybe just play, outside and just tinker around with it, I guess. But this will probably give me a sort of a new challenge on on a different string instrument, and kind of explore different sounds that I've never, I've never have discovered, I guess. And it's a pretty cool little unit. I mean, look at the headstock. I mean, it looks like the front of a ship. I mean, gosh, like this whole thing is, it looks like it's torn to pieces, man. You know, like my in-laws didn't really take care of this guitar. So a lot is going to be done with this thing, and hopefully this thing stays in tuning. I'm going to be doing a lot of cleaning up on it, and yeah, just kind of see what's going to happen next with this. So that's a project I'm going to be working on. And now for, I guess, the other stuff, video games. I started actually setting up my streaming stuff, my software and whatever. I'm using OBS Studio now, and I actually streamed a little bit earlier this week just to try it out. And the only reason why I am going to do it is because, one, I mean, I love video games. It's one of my things. And two, I wanted to do like a charity thing next month where I play a certain amount of hours to donate to a specific charity, maybe like an animal shelter charity. So I'm kind of working on that. And yeah, so that's one of the things I've been working on with gaming. I want to get into it and see where it'll take me. And some of the purchases that I made for it, really, for the streaming, is actually one of these. This is the NES Advantage. I don't really know the history of this specific thing because I don't really care. But I love joysticks. They're one of my favorite things to collect. And there's something about a joystick that, if it looks a certain way, it just looks so cool. And with this specific one, I wanted to sort of do some experimentation to it, replace the stick itself and the buttons. For this thing, if you look at it, if you look at the guts of it, it's just basically a D-pad under this stick. So the movements are a little awkward, and it doesn't really compare to like a fight stick, like, well, what I have right here. Let me go and show you this thing here. And even then, this thing, it could use a lot of work as well. But I mean, it's great. You know what I mean? It's a great little piece of gear, and I would love to use this thing. And maybe I'll even just take apart this thing and just replace it to this. You never know. But it'll take some time and sort of some layout planning to do that. I also bought this, which is the Game Boy Player. You can see right in the bottom. This is actually a peripheral that you use to play Game Boy Advance games and other Game Boy games of those prior to that handheld, I guess. And for me, I don't even have a freaking GameCube, but I'm hoping to get it next weekend. So I'm going to get that and a bunch of just cool little Game Boy Advance games. And my reasoning is just to use it for streaming purposes. I want to stream games and stuff and whatnot, and to do some sort of like charity kind of thing. I'm kind of into it. I want to get into it, and I hope I do, But it'll depend on the next couple of weeks, and you know, how good my setup is. And that's pretty much it. You know, I really have nothing going on again, but I do have an event I'm going to be heading to this coming Wednesday, and hopefully, you know, hopefully that I can make it. And there's a specific person that I want to see from LA that's going to be showing that work, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it, you know. And that's pretty much it. But before I go, I am gonna sort of show you a video of me playing improv guitar. It was actually a memorial video that I did for my father. My father, he was a naval veteran. He was in the Navy for about 25 to 30 years, I believe. And in 2003, he passed away from cancer. It was a few months before graduating high school when he passed. And I miss him quite a bit. I do. Though that I never really had much of a relationship like my other brothers did. I was kind of the odd kind of kid in the family, and still am, actually. But I did this vid because, you know, I was thinking about him, and I wanted to do something special. So yeah. This video is just me playing guitar, just all raw improv, and I only showed it to my friends on Facebook, and just thought I could show you guys. So here's the clip.